So I want to start talking about this concept of a vicious or a virtuous cycle. The way it goes is when there are many buildings on fire or you're in a ditch, there are too many things to do. So what that results in is a lot of desires. So going back to our ripple, you have a lot of desires. Chances are it's very hard to meet those desires, right? And it's going to result in unhelpful emotions, fear, guilt, jealousy, or just sadness. And next part of the ripple is, given that you have a lot of desires, you have unhelpful emotions, chances are you're going to use up a lot of energy frantically. And your actions are going to be frantic instead of intentional, right? So things are going bad. And then as your actions are not taking you where you want to go, your desires increase further. So this is what we call as a vicious cycle. And you have to take a break from the cycle. And it's extremely hard to take a break. This is where you have to slow down and say, is there something I need to do to build greater awareness, greater balance, and is there clarity I need to get out of this vicious cycle? And so that's what we're going to talk about. And might as well introduce the cycle we want to be on, which is the virtuous cycle. It is the opposite of a vicious cycle, where coming out of a vicious cycle, you say, out of all these many desires, what are the bare essential ones? What's the minimal kind of essential requirements that I should look at, such that I have a clear set of intentions? That's much smaller, like we talked about the buildings. Instead of 15 buildings to put on fires, I just focus on one building, or not even on one building, one room in one building, right? Once I do that, I get a sense of victory. My emotions start becoming more empowering. My energy is conserved. Not only conserved, I probably build energy. And my actions are now simple and intentional. And it builds energy. Now I can go take on more if I need to desires, and actually more clear intentions. And the cycle keeps building, where through the strength of my actions, through the strength of helpful emotions, I'm actually doing more. So that's the point in clarity. And clarity is a little bit like a cleanse. So most people teach you how to get more things done, and there's no problem in it if you can. So what we're going to teach you is actually how to focus on getting less done. That means get a lot of the junk out. Once you cleanse, then you go down to the bare essentials. And these are a small set of clear intentions that you have a clear strategy for. And for example, this could be, like we said, if you need to swim across an ocean and don't know swimming, this could be really have the spaciousness, the ease to be able to learn swimming, such that when you swim, you're not just totally wasting your energy. Make sense?
Absolutely. And I think an interesting distinction here in getting to those clear intentions are recognizing that there's underlying needs that we're trying to meet through our desires. And so when you get clear on what those underlying needs are, you can actually reduce the amount of desires and get more to those core essentials that you mentioned. And personally, that was a huge epiphany, and realizing the difference between traditional goal setting, where I'm actually increasing pressure in my life by doing traditional goal setting because I'm adding all these desires. But when I really get clear on what underlying needs I want to meet in my life that aren't being met in the best way, my desires list shrinks, and it feels so good knowing exactly where to put my energy.
Great, great.